I was the best at what I did. A hacker. A thief. I got in, got out. No one got hurt. Until I discovered something I was never meant to see. That's when they came for me, but killed her. Now, I'm coming for them.
In the minds of many, Watch Dogs is the next-gen game. It was at E3 2012 when Ubisoft stole the show and provided viewers with their first glimpse of the next generation. Since then, there's been a tremendous amount of hype and fanfare surrounding the game, and also a fair share of controversy concerning the game's visuals. No, the game doesn't look as good as the E3 build. Does the overall game live up to the hype, however? Well, that's also debatable, but Watch Dogs does deliver a competent and fun open world experience that's bursting at the seams with content. Watch Dogs begins with a hacking job gone wrong, and Aiden Pearce and his partner come across something they weren't supposed to see. A couple of Chicago's less desirable citizens don't take too kindly to this, and Aiden's niece gets caught in the resulting crossfire. Devastated by the loss, Aiden takes to vigilantism, waging war on Chicago's living filth with the help of his magic phone that has a direct connection to ctOS, the central mainframe which controls the entire city's technology. There's not really much more to say about Aiden though. He's a pretty bland character in all honesty. I get the impression that Ubisoft were going for a sympathetic character who has his heart in the right place but gets caught up in bad situations. In truth though, Aiden's kind of a dick. He steals cars, runs over civilians, shoots cops, causes huge traffic pile-ups for fun, and even steals money from cancer sufferers. He's just an arsehole. The supporting cast of characters fare much better, featuring excellent voice acting and animation. The standout character has to be this sociopathic Geordie who enjoys his work perhaps a little too much, but overall Watch Dogs' crime and revenge story is a bit cliché, even a bit dumb at times. Definitely not the game's strongest point. As for gameplay, Watch Dogs feels like an amalgamation of other top Ubisoft franchises. Taking the open world parkour of Assassin's Creed and combining it with Splinter Cell Blacklist's gadget-based stealth and cover shooting, players will find a competent though not entirely unique gameplay experience. Gun combat is conventional but still fairly enjoyable, though it's held back somewhat by negative mouse acceleration that can't be disabled. Players can also approach some situations in a more stealthy manner, opting to shoot enemies with suppressed weapons, performing silent takedowns, and distracting guards by activating various environmental props, allowing the player to slip by unnoticed. Mission design is largely by the numbers, with the majority of main missions boiling down to drive here, kill all of these bad guys, hack this thing, cutscene, kill more bad guys and escape. Worse still, Watch Dogs features those god-awful tailing missions that Ubisoft insists on soiling every one of their games with, and also those shit-forced stealth missions that instantly fail and force you to retry if you get spotted. Other mission design mishaps include a new escort-type mission, in which you command a hapless ally from A to B while fumbling around with surveillance cameras and wishing the game would just let you go in and stealth kill everyone yourself. And the less said about this shitty hacking minigame, the better. Not all missions are so bad though. Assaulting a gang-controlled apartment complex and various car chases you have throughout the campaign are pretty enjoyable, and some missions feature rival hackers who will activate environmental traps around you, resulting in some exciting moments. The driving has a nice arcadey feel to it, allowing for responsive high-speed chases and copious amounts of drifting. As Aiden can't shoot while driving, players have to rely on the use of hacking to evade and eliminate pursuing enemies. Bridges, blockades, traffic lights and steam pipes can all be hacked to gain the upper hand, and timing it just right will reward you with a slow-motion camera shot of the enemy being taken out, provided you're not too far away to even see the takedown, that is, which happens more often than not. Overall, I think the hacking is a little simplistic. In combat scenarios, environmental objects that you can hack are little more than red barrels in disguise. The use of hacking is largely predefined, with all of the special functions on Aiden's Wonderphone having pretty specific uses. The hacking system just doesn't have the depth to allow for experimentation and discovery of cool techniques. The game tells you what you can do and that's it. What isn't predefined is the order in which Watch Dogs' wealth of content can be tackled. Players are free to take a break from the main missions to interrupt crimes in progress, infiltrate gang hideouts, stop criminal convoys, and take part in a number of activities such as drinking games, poker,
That's everything.
Well played.
and chess. Even taking a nighttime stroll through downtown Chicago is enjoyable, but the most fun comes from the digital trips. The immediate gratifying carnage of Spider Tank makes it the best out of the four. In this mode, players take control of, yes, a spider tank, and wreak havoc on the city, fulfilling objectives along the way such as destroying a set number of cars, killing a set number of cops, and destroying a set number of objectives. The other three game types include a drugged out flower hopping mode, a hellish driving game in which running over zombies is the aim, and lastly a game type that transforms Watch Dogs into an eerie survival game, in which players scour a deserted Chicago for guns and ammo, and sneak past creepy robots, liberating districts of the city by hacking these things. Outside of single player distractions, Watch Dogs also offers an online component. While going about your business, another player may invade your game. The invader has to try and remain undetected while they steal data from the other player. The invadee has a limited time to locate and eliminate the hacker. If they're detected, hacking will stop and the invader will then have to escape, which can result in some pretty exciting car chases. Also on offer are multiplayer races, decryption mode, which is Watch Dogs' take on a capture the flag style mode, and free roam. A decent selection of online modes then, but Ubisoft servers are a little ropey at the moment, meaning it can be difficult to find games to join, let alone stay in them. As expected from an Ubisoft PC port though, the issues in Watch Dogs extend further than dodgy servers. The game suffers from a massive texture streaming issue, leading to an unbearable amount of stutter when driving at high speeds around the city. Reducing texture quality to the lowest setting acts as a workaround, but then the game just looks ugly. Honestly, if I wasn't playing this game for review, I probably would have stopped early on and waited for a patch. Otherwise, on-foot gameplay seems to be unaffected, and I personally found performance to be okay for the most part. With my GTX 780 and i7-3930K CPU, I was usually running at around 70 to 80 frames per second on high settings. However, there were some significant dips in frame rate down to the 40s at times, most notably on interior levels with dense crowds. As much as Ubisoft will deny it, Watch Dogs has had an obvious downgrade in the visual department since its initial E3 showing. Road and pavement textures are noticeably flatter in comparison, the lighting overall looks inferior, and steam and fog effects are absent along with the bokeh depth of field effect when in slow motion. Not that Watch Dogs is a bad looking game now though, texture detail and shadowing is fantastic during cutscenes and the rain-slicked Chicago streets and back alleys look pretty impressive during nighttime. But there is a definite sense of the game not looking as good as it could have. Pop-in is also pretty poor, with cars and objects noticeably fading into view not that far away. As we do with our PC reviews, we're now going to take a look at the options menus. Under display we have choices for resolution, refresh rate which goes up to 144Hz, aspect ratio, the choice of windowed, full screen and borderless mode, 1 or 2 frame VSync, GPU max buffered frames, texture quality and several forms of anti-aliasing. In graphics, elements such as level of detail, shadows, reflections and water all range from low to ultra. Shaders have 3 detail levels, motion blur and depth of field can be toggled on or off, and there's a few choices for ambient occlusion as well. Voice chat can be disabled for online sessions, thank God. There's controller support if you want, and you may actually prefer it for this type of game. Also, the in-game user interfaces are heavily designed for controllers, and can be a bit fiddly with the mouse. Keyboard and mouse controls are rebindable with the option of alternate buttons, though a few keys like backspace, page up and page down, and enter can't be bound. The audio menu offers many choices of written languages, subtitles and separate sliders for music, in-car songs, sound effects and voices. Finally, you can tweak the brightness. Sadly, there's no option to disable the mouse acceleration, but I'm confident someone will find a way to unpack the files and disable it, much like with Far Cry 3. Also, there's no field of view slider, but a handy program by the name of Flawless Widescreen can help you out with that. Overall then, a pretty good offering of options. Ultimately, I don't think Watch Dogs manages to live up to the hype, and I feel Ubisoft shot themselves in the foot by setting such a high standard on the graphical front with their now infamous E3 demo, and the publisher's reputation for shoddy PC ports still rings true here. But if you can look past all the issues and bullshit, then Watch Dogs is actually a pretty good game. It perhaps sticks to Ubisoft's established formula a little too closely, but at its core, Watch Dogs offers a slick, high-quality open-world experience and a detailed Chicago that's absolutely packed with fun content. Right now, it might be wise to wait for a patch before considering a purchase, but if the stuttering and other issues do get sorted out, then dropping into the world of Watch Dogs to experience its delights will be well worth your time. Watch Dogs is available to purchase from our shop at gamingdragons.com.